Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
What's up, everybody? I'm back again. I'm back at it. Okay. Have mercy. We got to get right into it, okay? So, hi, guys. I told you I'd be back. Thank you all for being here. Let me correct this angle real quick. She's in the middle of explaining some crazy stuff, the stuff that happened in Australia, the broken bottle, the finger, and all that stuff. She's still in the tail end of it right now. So I'm going to jump into it. Like I told you, I would be here to show you guys all that is going on. She's in the middle of doing that. So we got to rock and roll here. So please do me a favor, hit that like button down below. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Sorry, I forgot to say that. And hey, do not forget to hit that subscribe button. This is part 2. I know we're jumping in the middle of it, but hey, this is where the juicy stuff is going on. So let's get going, shall we? And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, okay? Welcome back to everybody who's coming in. Thank you guys for spending your time with me, watching this with me. Let's go.
Exact words. And he pushed record on my phone. I didn't actually at the time think that he had done that. I had no idea, but I did know that I didn't have my phone when I woke up and went downstairs to get it. It was dead. It was sitting out on the dining room table by where Jerry Judge was sitting. Jerry Judge was on the phone and talked to me, and I went back up to bed, took more of this sedative and fell asleep. And then I think the next day went to the closet and took out the clothes that he hadn't painted on. I guess when he went back upstairs, he had just like, it looked like what he had done is dip his hand in a bucket of paint and just wiped it on my clothes. Just went, and he had picked up another portion of my clothes and put them in the bathtub. And I don't know if he added paint or if he just had touched them with paint, but it was this ugly navy blue brown paint. I packed what was packable, what hadn't been destroyed, and eventually left Australia with Ben King, who you met on the way there.
Let me stop you there because I want to ask you some more questions about those 3 days, and then we can talk about Ben King and going home. So do you recall what bottle Mr. Depp was drinking from and then had that back and forth with you and you threw on the ground?
Objection, Your Honor. Compound leading.
Sustained.
Do you recall what the bottle was?
No, I don't.
Okay. Do you recall whether it was wine or liquor?
It was liquor. The wine was upstairs.
Okay. Do you recall what color it was?
Well, I believe it was white, clear, but I can't be certain. I think it was clear.
Do you remember whether it had a handle on it or not?
No, it was a normal bottle. I remember because he was holding it like this and gestured to me to take it. And I did try to reach for the bottle. It was a normal size, but for life of me, I can't remember like what brand.
Okay. When you woke up that third morning and came out of your room, what, if any, food did you see?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Objection, Your Honor. Leading.
Overruled. There was mashed potatoes smeared all over the bedroom door, on the wall, in various places. But I remember opening the door and being really confused at first as to what it was. Had little like specks of green in it, I assumed to be spinach. And throughout the house, there was food rubbed in places, just countertops, walls, doors, as I mentioned. And later that evening, I found the raw meat that I had left out, the steak, all over the house. There were pieces of it. It was cut up And he had ripped my nightgown into pieces, into shreds, and wrapped the meat up, like wrapped the steak pieces up with my nightgown. It was this really beautiful burgundy silk nightgown that had this black lace trim. I ironically got it from Dr. Kipper for a wedding gift. And it was wrapped, I found it, I continued to find it throughout the rest of the time that I was in the house in Australia. There's pieces of it in the microwave, pieces of it in the produce drawer, in the closet drawer. I mean, just raw meat wrapped up in my nightgown, as well as the smeared food on the walls. It was bizarre.
What, if anything, do you recall seeing on any mirrors?
Oh, he had written on the bathroom mirrors, in the bedroom, and I believe he had, there was another mirror. I just don't recall which bathroom it was in. I suppose it was the one that I went to, which is on the very bottom level, where I was retching, for lack of a better way to describe it. I think it was in that bathroom that he also wrote on that mirror as well.
What, if anything, do you recall?
In blood and paint, sorry.
I'm sorry. What, if anything, do you recall of any lampshades being written on?
Well, he wrote on messages to me, things to the effect of go-getter, horror sort of thing, like that sort of language, but calling me easy, calling me a slut, calling me, like just things about ego and what a whore I was. But it was hard to make sense of it because it was clear he was just out of his mind. It was, I mean, he wrote on a back of a pillow in blood. And you can tell because it dries like in this ugly brown color. He wrote on the walls going downstairs. Like it took in fact, you could see where it looked like he had run out of blood because the messages became, the markings became clearly letters. And the letters kind of became, like I could see where he had clearly run out of blood or it wasn't bleeding enough and went and got paint. And then it became paint and blood. You could see both. You could see where he went back with it. Same with the mirrors. I could see where all the dried blood was. And then I could see a different set of markings with paint and some other material.
So I'm going to go back to the time in the bar. And I know this is very painful.
What up, Shredder?
Do you recall what
Yes, I'm
Mr.
back.
Depp was
Good seeing you
saying
too.
to you when he
What do you
had the
guys think of
bottle
this so
and was
far? Is this
pushing
the
it against your
craziest
pubic
testimony you've ever seen or no?
He said that he would fucking kill me. I'll fucking kill you. He said it to me over and over again. He said, I'll fucking kill you.
Did you bleed from the vagina as well?
I did.
And did you experience any pain later?
I wasn't thinking about that. I was heartbroken. Eventually, I realized that I could be hurt because I was bleeding. But I convinced myself it wasn't broken and that the bottle wasn't broken or else it would be a lot worse. And the discomfort I was feeling afterwards just paled in comparison to how scared, shocked I was. I'm scared. I just married this man. I just married him.
And forgive me for asking this, but I need to just make sure the record's clear. You were penetrated up the vagina into the pubic bone. Is that correct?
Objection, Your Honor. Leading.
Sustained.
What, if any, penetration was there in your vagina?
Yeah, that's what I'd like to know too. What kind of damage?
I'm so sorry.
Do this.
I am so sorry.
I mean, we need to know.
Johnny had the bottle inside of me and was shoving it inside of me over and over again.
But it didn't break, right?
Did you experience any cuts on other parts of your body?
My forearms were cut. My bottoms of my feet were sliced up pretty good.
Did you have any other bruising or swelling?
I had a bruise across my jaw, I suppose, from one of the many
She
times
supposes.
he clocked me in the face downstairs.
Where's there
Um,
photos of this?
I think I just didn't make a
No
record
pictures
of
at all?
anything
Zero?
else.
I'm going to ask you to turn to,
Ay, Chihuahua. Ay, Chihuahua.
let's go to 1810. Well, actually, let's go to 1815. Michelle, if you can bring that up, defendants 1815. And I think these are all in, Your Honor, so if we could publish.
they can all be published.
Is this the game table?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and is this, based on your testimony, is this where you were you on top of this table?
Yeah, that he briefly got on top of me, and was pushing on my throat. Actually, at some point when I was on the table, I had forgotten about that, and this though looks like it is after a lot of the stuff was cleaned up because it didn't look quite like this.
Okay, and did the table collapse?
Yes, it did.
Objection, Your Honor. Leading.
Sustained.
What, if anything, happened to the table?
The table collapsed underneath me when Johnny threw me into it and got on top of me, or fell on top of me. I honestly don't know which one.
I'm looking at her
We could look
face
at
like really hard
1816.
to see if there's actual tears coming down her face. Her face ain't even wet. Her eyes aren't even red. Her nose isn't even running.
Recognize this, what's depicted in this picture.
Two bottles of liquor
Um,
on a
Yes.
desk
What is it?
with some Kleenex, love.
it looks like
Yeah.
the bottles that were by Johnny on the desk when I came down that last morning, and he was still up, still drinking.
He's like, mother effer, you gotta be kidding me.
If we could go to defendants 1817.
The bottle shape, the
Hamburger.
bottle shape.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I don't, I have not,
Go back to 1816, please.
Your Honor,
I had,
is there a question?
Okay, you want to ask a question?
What do you? what
Please
more
go
do
and
you
hit that
recall?
like button for me, guys.
Good,
I'd really
sorry,
appreciate
It took
it.
me a minute to respond because
I don't know.
it's hard. It took me a minute to respond because I had not remembered seeing the bottle that Johnny was using on me. I didn't have a memory of seeing it. And
Wait. You don't have memory of
this
seeing it.
picture,
Are you
I wasn't
sure it was a
aware of
bottle?
until just the other day, yesterday, the day before.
Hi, Nur. How you doing, sweetheart? Thank you for being here. It's one of the baddest mods in the house,
and
including
I felt my
other
stomach
mod.
tighten up, like I was going to be sick when I saw it.
How you doing, sweetheart?
Because even though I didn't remember seeing the bottle, what I had remembered is a pressure, like something square, which is why I thought he was punching me. I was feeling the square, something firm hitting me, like butting up against my pubic bone. Over and over again, I felt that pressure against my bone. It felt like a flat surface. But when I realized it was an object or bottle and not his fist, which is what I thought, because his arm, I could see his arm while he was holding me down, saying he was going to kill me, but I thought he was, his arm looked like he was punching me. And I hadn't seen this bottle. I didn't know. And then this came out in Ben's evidence because he didn't share it until this date.
Objection, Your
until this
Honor.
trial.
Sustained.
And so I recognize it.
All right, now let's go to defendants 1817.
She doesn't
Do you
know if it's a bottle.
recognize
She doesn't
this
even know what kind of bottle it
area of
is,
this
right?
picture?
I'm just trying to understand this properly.
Yes, it looks like one area of
She
the
doesn't know the
bar.
difference between a bottle and a fist.
Obviously, this is sometime later because all the liquid is dried up. It's quite slippery.
This is sad,
I'm
y'all.
slipping all over that tile. That's how I know. Looks like a lot of the glass has been cleaned up almost.
Okay.
This is really
And
bad.
let's go to 1818. Actually, I think
I'm
that's,
sorry, which?
Yeah,
which-
I don't
that's-
have that
That's
noted.
not in evidence.
yeah, that's a duplicate. Let's go to 1819. My apologies.
Okay.
This is bad. This is the last that we're gonna hear
Do you recognize
for a week,
this?
for 10 days. Isn't that crazy?
Yes, I do.
10 days.
What is
We're gonna
this?
have this lingering in the back of our minds.
This is
This
close to
monstrosity.
where my feet
testimony.
were when I was dangling off the counter. When he had me on the countertop by my neck, my feet were slipping on the tile, and I just remember my feet. I remember
Judge,
feeling glass underneath my feet and slipping. I couldn't get up. I couldn't alleviate the pressure on my neck.
the
She was
judge is
crushing
going to be
me.
going out of town for
That's around that,
week.
not around, that's next to that. All the way at the end of the picture is the bar where I was standing when
so the trial
he was throwing bottles at me.
won't reconvene until not this Monday, but the following Monday, because she's going
We
to,
go to
the judge is going to
1820.
some kind of convention next week. That's why. So this is the last testimony we hear until she comes back,
Do you recognize?
not this
what's
Monday, but
depicted here?
the following Monday, to testify whether it's going to be
Yes,
the
that's
defense
to the
or
left would be
plaintiffs.
the
We will find
where
out.
the wall-mounted phone was. Right to the left of that. To the right of that is the little L-shaped bar that I was telling you about, where I was trapped. And
when you say to the left of the wall,
I'm
what do you
sorry.
mean? Is it off the picture or on the picture?
so if you're looking at this picture, imagine up and to the left at person height, at site height, was and I don't know if it was antique, but it kind of looked old-fashioned, like an old-fashioned heavy. It looked heavy. I didn't pick up the receiver, but it looked heavy when I was watching it break. It looked like these like really heavy glass. Excuse me. It's really thick, heavy, not plastic, but like a Bakelite or something heavy material on it. That's my best guess. So that would have been to the left, and then to the right would have been the very end of the bar that you just saw a picture of.
All right, let's go to 1821.
Ann Blum, thank you so much
Defendants.
for the $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Ann. Really appreciate it, sweetheart. Thank you so much for your support. I raced home so I could watch
Do you
this
recognize
ish
what's
with
depicted in
y'all.
this?
Real talk.
photo.
Yes,
And
that's the
man,
bar
oh,
that I
man.
was just talking about.
Okay.
Is
Now,
this
I see a
phenomenal?
phone on the right
Lee
side.
Bad.
Is that the phone you were talking about?
No, that's not. This is a wall-mounted phone. That's just a landline.
Oh, wow.
And
The broken window.
you see straight ahead at the very, if you look straight ahead at the picture, on the top part of that, it appears to be some broken glass. Do you recall, what do you recall of that?
I recall more than just this window being broken. This is one of the windows that he broke when he was throwing things at me. My body was standing in front of that little kitchen sink you see at the end of the picture. I suppose that's some of the glass I felt though on the backs of my arms. Like when the window shattered.
Okay. Let's go to 1822.
This is like all aftermath.
1822, I don't have.
Oh, man.
1822 is not.
Berenice
in
Rivas.
That's
Thank you so
exactly
much
why I
for the
just went
$5
over here.
super
Let's go to
chat. Thank you so much.
1825, I think. Is that the next one, Your Honor?
OG
1825
Jitterbug.
is
Thank you so
evidence.
much, sweetheart.
Okay.
Thank you so much. And I love having you a part of our family as well. So thank you so much for
Do
your
you
support
recognize this picture?
and your kind words.
Yes, that's where Johnny was standing when I found him
Is that
the
urine?
last morning. That morning, it might have been like midday. When I say morning, it was after I woke up. It was certainly not early morning.
Thank you, Susan Wilder, for the $10 super chat. Thank
And
you
he was
so
standing
much.
at that desk, behind the desk, with the Manson blaring. When I found him and told him that I was going to
Jamarcus, thank you.
call 911 if he didn't call Jerry.
$10 super chat. Thank you so
look
much.
In this picture,
Lies,
there
she said
appears to be a lampshade.
She didn't see the
down
glass
below. Do
until
you
the next
recognize
morning
that
when she
lampshade
came
down below the
downstairs
table?
just a minute ago. Yep.
That's one of
She is
the
just-
lampshades.
She's
Johnny
falling all over
wrote,
herself.
Threats or messages to me on.
She's falling all over herself.
Then let's go to 1827.
Dag nab. This is so bad. It just sucks. This whole thing sucks. Her telling
Do you
these
recognize
stories.
This?
Yes, I do. That's my painting studio. So when I walked downstairs and saw all the blood on the walls, I walked into this room first. That's where the stairs empty into this room, kind of my painting area. And those are the canvases that he repainted.
And do you see, if you look by the white tablecloth table to the right of that, do you see a lampshade there?
Yes, I don't know if that's the same lampshade or another one.
Okay. Then let's go to 1828. And do you recognize what's in that one?
I do. Those are were my paintings. That I don't know when he did that, if it was before or after the writing on the
Damn.
walls, but
Unless she did
he
it.
just
No, he was passed out.
ruined them.
So I just want to make sure. So
Earlier,
the
she slipped up and
painting
Johnny slipped
canvas
up
that's dark colored.
and said
there's
Johnny
two
slipped
of
out of her
them
grip.
there.
Well, there's
Yeah.
there's
I'm
two or
hoping
three,
too, Jamarcus.
and
Thank you
then
so much
there's
for
a
$5
smaller
super
one
chat.
in the center, and that was his daughter. I was trying to paint a portrait of, and that was untouched.
Okay, and then, but just so we're clear, the one directly in front of you that looks like it's just a lot of dark colors, was
Oh.
that dark colors before, or
I am
Objection, Your Honor, leading.
I said, was that dark colors before?
I'll sustain the objection.
What, if any, change was there on that canvas?
I'm a terrible painter, but I'm not that bad. That was not my painting. It was the start of a portrait, and he changed it dramatically.
And then to the right, side on the other side of, more to the right than the one you already testified to. Is that what that picture looked like before, or is that,
Objection leading.
what if any changes were there to that picture?
Well, the three canvases were portraits, so they looked similar to the one that's in the center that I was doing of his daughter.
And the white that's below, what if any changes were there to that? The white canvas that you see there?
It just looks like the painting was. It looks like once he destroyed.
Objection calls for speculation.
Sorry. Just saying.
Was there anyone else in the house besides Mr. Depp and you?
Not that I know of, no, and no one was around.
Okay. Do you have any reason to believe somebody other than Mr. Depp did this?
Objection leading.
Sustain.
What if any reason do you believe that Mr. Depp did this?
Objection
That was not, what if any?
What's the objection?
leading.
No, I'll overrule that objection.
Thank you.
It was just Johnny and I in that house over the course of those 3 days, roughly. There might have been somebody, his assistant or something, come on the first day or second day, I can't recall, but for the majority of for the entirety of what I've been describing to you, it was Johnny and I in that house.
And did you do any of this? Did you
No.
create any of this damage?
No,
I'm also gonna
If
take
you
a
notice,
look
all her
at the
stories
white
are the same with
tablecloth
each
to
one
the
having
right there.
more and more added
And
detail.
also Johnny's
Absolutely.
covered in
When
paint,
she
so
lies, when it seems like she's lying,
to answer your
she
question.
starts going into
fully,
weird random
that's also how I
details that
know.
are unnecessary to add more dramatics to it. That's just what I think.
So I'm also just gonna draw
So
your attention.
thank you so
to
much,
that
DeMarcus,
white
for the $5
tablecloth
super
over
chat.
there.
And facts, Jamarcus.
Does it appear to have some paint on that as well?
Yes, there was paint all over the place, to say it plainly.
Now, the painting that you indicated, there was a large penis, I believe. Where was that?
I believe it was just,
Yeah,
Like, if
Elaine
you're
really
looking at
wants to
this-
know where the large penis
I
is
believe
at.
it was on the wall, almost right next to the
Sorry,
painting directly
guys.
center that we're
I'm
looking
12.
at. That's my best recollection, but I can't be entirely sure.
Okay. Let's go to 1828.
I think that was 1828.
Oh, 1829, my apologies. And do you recognize this photo?
Yes, I do.
What's in it? And what was this?
This is one of the lampshades that Johnny chose as a medium to leave me messages in blood and paint.
Okay. Let's go to 1830.
Can I ask something real quick? Is it confirmed that he's the one who painted all over the
Do
walls
you
and stuff and
recognize
put
this?
blood all over the place?
Yes, that's one of the bathroom
I'm just
mirrors.
curious. I may have missed that part
Okay.
in the trial, in his
And If you could just look to the left,
cross-examination.
and I'm gonna go ahead and
did he
circle
write
it
all this stuff?
over
He
here?
did do this, right?
You see red and black there. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay. And there were some questions that were asked earlier
$10. Thank you
about
so much,
that
Ella
red.
Andrews.
What,
This
if
is
anything, did
embarrassing for
you
her.
write?
She
On
could
this
end
mirror.
having a bad
I
fallout
didn't
from
write
this.
anything on the mirrors.
Shaking my head.
I'm just
Absolutely.
as confused as anyone.
career's over
in
after
hearing
this.
that testimony.
Even if she walks out with $100 million, her
and-
career's over.
Based
It's
on
done.
looking at this area that I have circled, is the black on top or underneath the red?
So he
Objection, Your
did
Honor.
do it.
Calls for speculation.
Okay.
Leading.
I just want to make sure I'm not losing my damn mind. He did do it, right? With the blood and
It's probably a
everything.
good time to take a break. Why don't we go ahead
Okay.
and take our afternoon break, ladies and gentlemen? Let's go ahead and have our break. Do not discuss the testimony with anybody and don't do any outside research. We'll come back here. All right, in 15 minutes.
We got 15. All right, guys. I'm sorry, I'm having my late lunch. But
All right, so we'll come back at 4:02, okay?
Thank you,
All
Ron.
right, thank you.
4:02. All right, guys. We still got time. Okay. So what y'all think of this so far, man? What y'all think? How y'all feeling about her testimony? When she's testifying, what do you feel about this? Are you feeling it? Do you think she's real? Do you think this is all cap? Do you think that there's holes of truth and moments of lies? That's what I want to know. Because I ran back here. And of course I'm still eating my lunch, or having a late lunch, and that's okay. It's totally fine. I'm not tripping over it. I wanted to spend this time with y'all because you guys are important to me. But what do you think so far? I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh, but have mercy, have mercy, have mercy. Let me just have mercy. Okay, first, let me grab this. $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Dr. Ed. What's up, Dr. Edward? Thank you so much for being on. I appreciate the love. Thank you, Pascal. Love your channel. And mods, very nice. Yes, my mods are amazing. That goes without saying. You know what I mean? I think that they're just good human beings in general, and they just happen to bless me with their time. So shout out to my mods real quick. Y'all are incredible. Okay, y'all incredible. Henry, hey, thank you so much for joining the fam. Yes. Hey, happy Cinco de Mayo. Thank you so much for becoming a member. I really do appreciate it. Seriously, it really does mean a lot. Yes, I think I'm going to be doing sound effects every single time I get a member that comes on. I need to play something. You know what I mean? Just something fun, right? But anyway, back into this conversation. I got to ask you guys, because I want to know, real talk. I really want to know. What are your thoughts on all of this? What are your thoughts on this? Are you feeling this or no? Definitely comment in the chat. Sorry, my headphone just got disconnected. So I'm trying to get it back on real quick. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Like, what was the part that threw you off? Mainly, what is the part, without a shadow of a doubt, was like, what? What threw you off so far? Because, part of me is like, man, I feel bad because, there's got to be, within all this BS, right? There's some truths in here somewhere. It can't all be 110% fabricated. Obviously, he went out of his way to paint all over the walls. They're saying that he didn't pee. I mean, one of his bodyguards said, I would have known, sounding like Braveheart. He said, I would have known if I saw, Mr. Depp's penis. He said that. He said, I would have known it. I would have known it without a shadow of a doubt. So that part they're saying is not true. That I guess he tried to write her name, Amber, with his penis, with his urine. Okay. Just nothing but cursive. You know what I mean? All caps. Okay. So everything except for that is true. As far as the vandalizing of the house, right? The painting on the mirrors and you writing in his own blood and all that stuff. Allegedly, that is real. And Kelly Jackson, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Thanks for the hard work, Pascal. Just remember to guard your heart and get some rest. Yes. Thank you so much, Kelly Jackson. I really do appreciate it. Yes. Trust me, I will be sleeping my ass off tomorrow. No doubt. It has been a crazy, crazy day. Yes, I was okay. So when I wasn't here, I was listening to the her testimony, and so I did hear about this part, which is right here. Susan McIntosh, or McIntosh, I think it's McIntosh. While you were gone, she reported he offered her MDMA, went to sleep, got up, he was asleep. She counted that he took 8. Yeah, she said about 8 to 10, but he confirmed 10, and he didn't. And then and he didn't have to get CPR. So yeah, something about him taking a whole bunch of MDMA, a whole bunch of pills that she was saying, because they were getting together, having dinner, chopping it up, doing a steak dinner or some sort of thing, sitting down. It's been a month since they've seen each other. Apparently he was sober at this time, or at least he led her to believe that he was had been sober at this time. He shows up and, at this dinner, pulls out a bag of MDMA, or she asks him, "Oh, what is that?" And he's like, "It's MDMA." And so he's like, "Let's do it together. Let's trip balls." And of course, she was not happy about that whole conversation. And then so she's saying she wasn't. Man, I'm sorry. We gotta talk about the elephant in the room. I'm so sorry. Part 2 of this, today's thing, right? After the lunch and all that. I'm sorry. Is she saying he did something to her with a bottle? I'm just saying, she said he did something to her with a damn bottle, but she doesn't know what kind of bottle it was, and she can't tell you if I'm correct, because I don't want to misinterpret here. So this is why I'm talking to you, fam. So help me out. Correct me if I'm wrong. But she doesn't even know if it was a bottle or if it was his fist, because allegedly a bottle happened down there in her nether regions. He was inflicting pain on her. Apparently, she was bleeding from this as well. But she doesn't remember if it's a bottle or a fist. Okay. Wouldn't you know the difference between a bottle and a fist? I'm just saying, asking for a friend. Obviously, I don't have lady parts. I wasn't naturally born a woman, so I don't know that. But wouldn't you know? I would assume. Wouldn't you know the difference between a fist and a bottle? But then when they ask for that detail, her team is asking for, what kind of bottle was it? And she's going, I have no idea what it was. What? I just don't know what kind of brand. I feel like if you're sitting there going, I was skidding, my skin was skidding across the Pelican hardwood floor, whatever she said. She said something like Pelican hardwood floor. I could, my skin was skirting against this really beautiful hardwood floor. And she's saying all these other details. You're telling me that the bottle that he may have put on the side, she wouldn't know what kind of bottle it was? Every other detail she's got, like to a T to a certain extent. Like I said, hot air burns like ice type poetry. But when we talk about that one crucial piece of information, she doesn't remember if it was a fist or a bottle. Hold on, I got a super chat. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm a good man here. I'm just trying to understand it, and I'm just trying to hear the story, and I'm trying to get the story correct. But still, the math ain't mathing to me. And like I said, I'm not a woman, okay? I'm not a woman, so I can't really speak on that side of things, knowing the difference between a human appendage and a bottle. I feel like there's a big difference there. I feel like you would know the difference somewhat, but she can't tell the difference, I guess. Just like she can't tell the difference if she badly bruised her nose or if she broke her damn nose. She doesn't even know the difference between that either. Yeah. And I'm telling you, she said that earlier in part 1 of today, before lunch, when he slammed her up against a wall and punched her in the face so hard that she said she didn't know if she broke or bruised her nose, badly bruised her nose. You would know. Some ain't right here. Tara Lee, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. What about the nightly Dr. Kipper got her and the raw meat? That threw me. Like, that threw me too. I don't understand any of this. Like, I'm going, what the hell? Then on top of that, like, can we just, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm so frustrated, y'all. I'm so frustrated because even on top of that, after all that, I'm sorry. Like, yes, exactly. I was just about to say this. Simone Abundance. Why did Amber seek medical and why? I'm assuming you're saying why didn't Amber seek medical attention? She never gotten a police report. I just don't understand the logic. Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. So you're telling me that he did some, I mean, even so, regardless if we're looking at this and going, man, this is cap, it's hard to hear. It's hard to hear those stories. Let's keep it real. It is very hard to hear those kinds of stories, period. To have that happen to anyone, whether they are just telling a story or, or a fabrication, or if it's actually true, it is still 110% hard to hear. And this woman literally is saying that he did all these terrible, heinous things to her. And not once did she go to the doctor. You're telling me, because when they asked her, I'm trying to find not so colorful words for these words. But she said, when this happened to you, did your vagina start bleeding? I'm sorry, there's no other way I could say it. All right. And she said, yes. So you were violated in the most heinous, most ridiculous, most disgusting, grisly way, as you say, allegedly, with a bottle. You are bleeding from it, and yet you don't go and seek medical attention. You don't file a police report for being violated in that way. You don't even, let's just say this. Even if you say, I'll just put some ice on it, it'd be fine. Like, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard. That's the craziest logic I've ever heard. Why wouldn't you take photos of the bruises on your face, the vaginal trauma? I know it's a photo of your naughty bits, but real talk, it's proof. Nonetheless, why wouldn't you pick up that phone and start taking photos of proof of the damage that was done to your body? This is the reason why I'm sitting here going, this is all lies. How can anyone take her seriously? Denise, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I appreciate you too as well. Enjoy watching with you and everyone else. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all y'all for coming on. I know there's plenty of other platforms you could be watching the this trial, but I do appreciate you blessing the time with me. It really does mean a lot. But like I said, I'm still trying to wrap my mind around this because it still isn't working for me. It's not working for me. As much as we could sit here, because, any other person that went up and was attesting to these crimes, it would grab at my heartstrings. Real talk. It really would. It would absolutely grab at my heartstrings. But this is beyond, y'all. And the frustrating part of it all is that all of this would be eradicated. All of our judgment, all of us saying whatever we're saying, all of us that are sitting here going, oh, putting on the biggest act in the world, so on and so forth, like myself, would be annihilated right now if she threw out photos that showed, yes, he did all these things to me. Look at my face. Look at all this stuff. Look at this bruised or broken nose. Look at the bruises on my body, the jawline, all that stuff. Where are the facts? You take the time to take photos of him when he's strung out, or when he's going through detox, or when he's drunk as hell and he just literally just shuts down like a computer. You do all that on him. But when you have an opportunity to bury him with proof, aside from making him look like a fool with his pants on the ground, with him passed out and stuff, you decide not to take any of those photos of the damage that he inflicted onto you. That does not make any bloody sense.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, before we get the jury, I just want to see, talking with Sammy, is Friday, May 27th? It's not, we usually don't meet on Fridays, but is that an okay day to have trial on that Friday? It's the Friday before Memorial Day. I want to check with the jury, but I want to check with you first.
Sweet
That'll
Indigo,
actually be closing argument day for anybody that wants to know.
May 27th.
So I just want to make sure that keeps it track, but if it's good with the jury, I just want to make sure that Friday is good with
That
them.
works for me, Your Honor.
Okay.
We'll be here. Sweet Indigo, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. But yes, excuse me, if you're taking pictures of him drunk, why aren't you taking pictures of your injuries? Exactly. Tell me that. Where's the logic behind all of that? It don't make no sense. It's frustrating. That's why we can't believe anything that she's saying right now. That's why we think this is all cap. That's why we're all sitting here. Please take several seats. That's why she has no hard evidence. And that's frustrating because now it's just all hearsay. Now it's just he said, she said. You have photos of the aftermath of the broken glass and the beer cans and the soda cans and the bottles and stuff all over the place. That doesn't say nothing except maybe having a righteous party, a raucous party. Literally, it could be one of those hell of a crazy ass rock star parties. You know, he's a rock star. He liked to kick it and stuff. It could be just the aftermath of a really, really crazy ass party. Just saying. And she just took those photos and said, yeah, this is what happened. Where is the damage on her body and on her face? Where is it? Instead of her looking like, wearing one of Jackie O's throwback thrift store outfits right now, trying to look all demure and looking like a victim, why don't you just come in with the facts, bury him with the facts and evidence, hard evidence? But she ain't got nothing. She ain't got nothing, y'all. That's why she's going to tank. That's why she's probably going to walk out of here losing, because she has nothing. And she's going to lose more than just $100 million, y'all. Trust and believe. She's going to be losing more than just $100 million. Watch. It's a damn shame, y'all. Exactly. Cap.
Thank you, Your Honor. Michelle, if you can bring back up 1830 for a moment. 1830, I'm sorry.
Oh, if you want to join,
Remember, we were
the
talking about
button's
this right
underneath
before
the feed right
break.
now. It says join
It still has
right
my
next to the
highlight.
subscribe button.
which color is underneath the other?
Objection. Calls for speculation.
Just so you know,
So
Dr.
can-
Ed,
Based on
join
your
buttons down
perception,
below.
which color is
Underneath
underneath?
underneath this feed right now. Okay.
All right, let's do this. Let's bring up defendants 375, which is already into evidence.
And thank you so much for the support, y'all. I really do appreciate it. Hit that like button down below. Don't forget to do that for me. I'd really appreciate it. And hit that subscribe button, okay? Por
I need
favor.
to clear that highlight, Your Honor, but I don't have the control on mine. There we go. Thank you.
It's in the top right corner if you need it, but that's fine.
Thank you. There it is. My menu was hidden. Amber, I'm going to ask you to take a look at, this is the picture that we saw earlier. And do you see the area that's written in red here?
Yes.
Okay. What, if anything, did you have to do with the writing of that red?
Nothing.
Do you, before this trial, did you know who Carly Simon was?
You're so
I might
vain,
have
right?
heard her music, but no, I didn't.
Did you know what songs Carly Simon wrote or sang?
Bet this song,
No, you
this
had to tell me.
song's about you.
Thank you. All right. And then if you can just remember this picture, again, the red area there that I've circled,
Mhm.
and then I'm going to ask Michelle to take this one down and put 1830 back up. And I'm going to ask you to take a look at this. What, if anything, did you do to this mirror with respect to the black or the red?
I didn't touch it.
Okay. And what, if any, pictures did you take?
I took a picture of it was the picture we had right before this is the one I took because it was in the bathroom where I found my clothes in the tub and stuff like that.
And let's go to 374, please. That's already in evidence. Is that the picture you're referring to?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and I'm sorry, I just want to make sure that I understand. What else was in this bathroom where this mirror was?
The bathtub and another mirror, which also had writing on it. The bathtub had a few of my clothes in it and paint. And both of the two mirrors were painted. I believe I took a picture of both mirrors.
Okay.
Hey.
And then I'm going to ask you, Michelle, if you can bring us back to 1831.
Thank you, Tamara White Erst. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Dr. Edward. Hey.
And
Thank you
did
so
you
much for
take this
becoming a
picture?
member. I really do appreciate it.
No.
That's dope as hell.
Okay.
Thank you.
do you see in the mirror there?
Yes.
Can you see the bathtub? in
Cinco
the
de
back?
Mayo. All right.
Yes, I can.
All right. Was that the bathtub that you're referring to?
Yes, it is.
And that had your clothes in it?
Objection leading.
I'm
Sustained.
sorry. What, if anything, did it have in the bathtub?
A few of my clothes with paint on them. You can see I think that's what I see in the corner of the mirror.
Okay. And then let's go to 377 for a moment. That was in evidence already. And do you recall seeing this picture earlier?
I do.
Okay.
Good luck
And now
be
let's go
careful
to
at
1829, please.
Good luck and be careful at top. Wow. I don't think she's going
Does
to be
that
up
appear
on
to
top
be
anymore.
The same lampshade, but in color?
It does appear that.
Okay,
It is.
thank you. All right, now let's just go through. I'm going to ask you to take a look at 1834.
It is art. Oh my God. Yolanda, I'm so sorry. I didn't know I
What
scared
does
your
this
dog.
depict that you can recall?
That
My
is the
bad.
TV that Johnny threw the cup of coffee at.
Okay. And let's go to 1835.
Still art by Johnny. That could be art by Johnny. This all could be an artistic piece. He could have literally just said, I'm
And what
turning
does
my
this
whole
depict?
entire house
One of the sofas in the living
Into
room
an art
next
piece.
to the kitchen with blood on it.
That's my whole plan.
And then let's go to 1837.
He could have. He didn't, though, including my finger.
And what does this depict?
It's one of the guest bedrooms with Johnny's iPad on the bed and blood and or paint on the duvet cover.
Man, people with money,
All right,
damn.
Thank you. Now let's
People
do
with
1838.
money. All he has to do is write one big ass check and everything gets replaced in 2 days like that. You know what I mean? No big deal.
what does
It's
this
just a flat
depict?
screen TV.
A lampshade or a lamp that
It's
has
just
been
a lamp. You know what I mean?
robbed of the shade.
Okay.
That shade's downstairs.
Let's go to 1839.
Maybe he stopped. He's tired of giving you so much shade. And he wants to keep it real now. See how he was being poetic and artistic
does
at the
this
same
depict?
damn time? You feel
A
me?
different bed
Blammo.
with more blood on it.
Then let's go to 1840. And what does this depict?
Blood on one of the guitars that Johnny was apparently trying to play.
Blood on my guitar. That sounds like an album or a title to
You
a
didn't
song.
try to play the guitar.
Objection, Your Honor.
What
Calls
if
for
any-
speculation.
I didn't even get the words
Overruled at
out.
this point. Next, your question. Go ahead.
Okay. What if any effort did you make to play a guitar?
I've never played the guitar.
Okay. Let's go to 1841. What does this depict?
It is where Johnny slammed the end of a bottle into the wall while holding me up against it.
Is this in the bar area?
This happened in 2 rooms, so it's hard to tell.
Okay.
The bottle into the wall, the best of my recollection, happened in the kitchenette bar area downstairs, but I can't be 100% certain.
Okay. And let's go to 1842.
Real quick, everybody who's watching on Facebook, go hit that follow button on my Facebook page,
What does this
please. I'd
depict?
really appreciate it. And don't forget to
Another
hit that like
broken
button
lamp.
on the YouTube channel as well. I'd really appreciate it as
And
well.
then I've just got a few more left.
Thank you.
1805.
And subscribe. Like she's just going, are these just broken items in your house? It's like, yeah. Is this a lamp? Yes, it's a
What does
lamp.
this depict?
Wine spill. It looks like the remnants of a wine glass being thrown.
This is not good. I'll just be real. This
And
is
it looks
not.
like
It's
broken
not
glass.
a good look for Johnny Depp.
Do
I
you
mean, him
recognize
losing
where
his
this was in
mind
the
like
house?
this, not
Well, it
great.
looks like a bedside table, but I can't be certain.
Where, man?
Let's go to
The bottle
1806.
Pascal, that's too much. She is awful in every way. A disgusting human being. I feel so sorry for real victims. Yep. See, I just feel like she's giving
It's,
real victims a bad
you-
name.
You know,
It's
let's
bad.
let's
It's
skip
terrible.
that one and let's go to 1808.
Oh wait, all that good cushion alcohol. Come on. What about the wait? Bring it back. You want to share?
Do you know
No.
what this depicts?
Okay.
Wine spill.
Okay. All right.
I mean,
Now, you started to testify about, well, before we go there, in these pictures, would you say they accurately depict the damage that you saw that third morning?
No.
What else, why, how are they not accurately depicting?
Well, if you can believe it, this is it seems significantly cleaned up. There was much more damage, specifically broken glass. On the countertops, there was a lot of broken glass. I could feel it cutting my
There it
arms
is.
when I was trying to get up. And I could feel it underneath my feet. So I don't know when these pictures were taken, but there's been some cleanup.
Thank you for the $2 super chat, Charlie Miller. Blood on the dance floor. I thought it was like some
You
rock song or
indicated
something
that the
outside of that song.
that Johnny had turned on your iPhone and recorded. Is that correct?
Yes.
Did there come a time that you discovered a recording on your iPhone from Australia?
Yes, much later. There was this 5-hour long recording, and naturally I didn't know what that could possibly be, because even though Johnny and I recorded each other often as part of our, struggles to figure out our relationship, this one was, 5 hours was unusual. And that's when I discovered that there had been this recording of the end of the Australia incident, if you will.
And did you listen to that recording?
5 hours, y'all.
I have heard it, yes.
And does it accurately represent what was depicted in that recording?
Yes.
Objection, form, lack of foundation.
Objection,
approach on this.
marshmallows. I'm sorry. Oh, back at it again. I get it. They got to do their job, but objection, form. Oh, they got to do their job. They got to do their job, babies. But form. Oh God. Okay. All right. Okay. I think it's BS that they're going through every single item and being like, "What is this?" And she's like, "It's a carpet with wine on it." Okay. What is this? What is this to pick? Oh, it's a bed with a duvet with blood or paint on it. Okay. What is this? Is this a lamp? Yes, it's a lamp. Like they just going through every single item. Are we looking through a catalog of IKEA? Like, come on now. Come on. Let's like get down to the nitty-gritty. Actually, instead of us actually looking at items from an IKEA catalog, where are the photos of your bruises and the face being all jacked up? That's what I want to see. I don't want to see the items that he bought in his crib. I'm just saying, I got better things to do. What the hell? Is this a lampshade? Is this the lampshade that he sent, that he painted on? It's like, we already know this.
Number of that, the exhibit number, so I can.
378.
Thank you.
Show me hard evidence of bruises on the damn face and the body. We don't need to see the
You
walls and the
testified
stuff.
that you made arrangements to return home. Can you describe, let's take you to at the point you left the Australia house to go to the airport and were accompanied by Ben King. Could you tell the jury what transpired during that period of time?
So I left Australia shortly after that. My understanding was Johnny was in the hospital for his finger, and Ben King was going to accompany me. And on the ride,
What about the putting the
On the way to
cigarette
the
out on his
airport,
face? He did it himself?
Johnny calls me, and we were just crying on the phone.
Really?
He was crying. He asked if it was, if he had killed it, meaning the relationship, it was, I don't remember the exact words that he used, but it was kind of asking me in that way, is it done? Is this over? Did we kill it? Did I kill it? So, that sort of thing. I don't remember what I was saying to him, but we hung up as I went into the airport.
We cried together.
I had a mix of feelings. I just nothing really was making perfect sense to me, for sure. And I flew back with Ben. I don't really remember speaking to Ben on the flight.
Because he had nothing to say to you, love. Ben had nothing to say to you, love. Y'all went nuck and futz on each other.
When Mr. Depp was, what you testified on what Mr. Depp said to you on the phone ride, were you on the phone with anyone else or was it just Mr. Depp you were on the phone with?
I only remember speaking to Johnny, and I remember sitting in the backseat of the SUV that had driven me, and we were outside of the entrance where you walk into the airport, and I even then felt torn about leaving. I obviously didn't want to stay, but I was in such shock and
Objection, Your Honor, non-responsive.
I don't know how that's non-responsive.
We're going to ask your question again.
Okay. Please tell us how you felt at that point and
Yeah, we got some
what
things to
Mr.
talk
Depp
about
was saying
tonight.
to you.
I remember.
Objection, Your Honor, asked and answered.
She was in the middle of responding to it, Your Honor, and Your Honor said,
It was
ask
a
a
different question, but I'll sustain that objection if you want to ask a question.
Okay. How did you feel at that time?
I felt destroyed. Like my heart was broken. I didn't know what to do. I thought maybe if I left him in Australia, I thought maybe something would happen to him. I thought he might die or kill himself, because it certainly seems like the trajectory he was on. He told me he had put a cigarette out on his face before, the Friday before, and combined with all the, when I was in the bedroom and he was in the hospital, I found, and I was packing my bags and stuff, I found all these empty bags, Coke bags, dime bags, like white residue on
So
them.
he put the cigarette out on his face
They were in
himself.
books, in the bedside table. There were so many that I was like, I wondered how I didn't see it before, even though I had, just gotten there.
Oh my God.
So I was worried he would die.
Oh
And I
my
was worried
God.
that we couldn't come back from what happened. I was worried that there was just no way to turn this around. There was no going back. But
she just straight up said, no, come on. He put the cigarette on his own, out on his own face.
So you
Come on, man.
flew out
Come on,
of,
man.
that airport. Did you have to, did you have a stop anywhere
Oh, my
before you went back
God.
to LA?
Oh my God.
Objection, relevance.
In a minute, I'll show
overruled.
you.
Yes, we did. We stopped in an airport. I think it was, we stopped at the
Wow.
Sydney airport.
She's
from
taking
Brisbane, I
zero
believe.
blame.
And did you have to change gates there?
Yes, we had a short flight to get to Sydney, and then in Sydney, I walked with Ben through the airport
I'm done,
to get
cabron.
the next
You know?
plane, and
I'm
we
done.
passed a newsstand. And I just remember I passed this newsstand, and there was a book on one of the book stands outside of the store, and it had this puzzle piece on it, and Johnny and I used to use that as a term of endearment, puzzle piece, and I saw this puzzle piece on the cover of the book. It got my attention. It said 4 ways to click, a relationship guide. So I bought it, and
Who was the author?
Dr. Amy Banks.
Okay. Go ahead, please continue.
So the book, at least from the subtitle, said it was a book on solving relationship problems. So I bought it and I read it on the way home.
And why did you buy it and read it on the way home?
Because I loved this man. I loved this man so much. And it was
I don't know if
so toxic.
She is so lying.
And for some reason, I couldn't get him to.
Thank you for the $5 super chat. Zero accountability. Yep.
I couldn't get him to
Even for the littlest things. Absolutely.
not hurt me.
Freaking
I could.
This is bad. Thank you, T-Nac.
And it seemed like I was hurting him. But we loved each other so much. At least I loved him so much. And I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do with this relationship. It was awful and toxic, but it was so important to me. And I loved him so much. I would have read 1,000,000 books.
So when you got back to LA, how long before Mr. Depp came back?
A few days. Johnny came back within a few days. He went to his Sweetser house, the main house, which was what we did. You know, if there was a problem between Johnny and I, we weren't under the same roof once, you know, the fight had either paused or ended, depending, but he would go to Sweetser and I would stay at the ECB. And so he went to Sweetser upon landing, and there was some conversations with the medical team, you know, doctors and stuff. And I just remember feeling concerned for his life because things had changed, and without saying what they said to me,
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
She said without saying.
She's characterizing it.
Well, I'll overrule for now. We'll see where we go. I became really, really worried that Johnny was not going to live through this, that there would be infections or problems and things, and he wouldn't stop using Coke, and he couldn't get the surgery he needed because he wouldn't stop using Coke, and they wouldn't put him under because of all the Coke. So,
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
All right, I'll
Lack of
sustain as to the
foundation.
last part.
Okay.
All right, next question.
So when did you next communicate? When did you next see Mr. Depp after you got back from Australia?
I saw him a few days. I don't know how long it was, but it was at the doctor. I think my best recollection is that it was in the doctor's office or around that he needed a procedure.
Did there come a time that you reconciled after Australia?
Yes, because it almost felt like it went away so quickly because there was this surgery that he needed, and there was maybe he had more than one surgery, but it was, you know, like it became very, very about getting Johnny through the next step, you know, getting Johnny home, getting Johnny off the Coke long enough to get the procedure done, and then after that procedure, getting another procedure done. And it was just these small steps. And before you know it, we were kind of back in it. With the prospect, of course, of him being done with all the drugs and drinking, because that's what necessarily had to happen for him to have this surgery. So that made me feel a little, you know, a little bit more secure and kind of coming back into this relationship with him.
So I'm going to take you to March 23, 2015, which is a few weeks after, 2.5 weeks roughly after Australia. Where was Johnny staying at this point?
I think he was staying at the Eastern Columbia, at the ECB. Yeah, he was staying at the ECB at the time because we were kind of in the bedroom together the night of the 22nd, which is when he passed out, how I found his iPad.
I'm sorry, when you...
I found his iPad open. He was texting someone with it open. He passed out. And I saw what he was texting.
Please tell the jury about that.
He was texting this woman that he had a relationship with on and off.
Send nudes.
Kind of at the beginning of our relationship. So I recognized the name, but the date was right after the wedding. I saw it. He had gone to her house after we got married. Like upon touching down in Los Angeles, I think it was the next day, he went to this woman's
so
house.
he was a swashbuckling scallywag.
He was his sexual relationship with.
Oh, allegedly.
And
What did you do as a result of seeing that on the iPad?
I freaked out. I immediately confronted him about it. I was, I didn't care in that moment if he did kill me, which is likely in confronting him at that stage of our lives. I didn't even care anymore at this moment. He had already ripped my heart out. There's I've just been through what
you read my mind. I was going to ask that
having
after
been through
this,
what
but I'm glad you said it now. We're going to do it
went through
anyway.
in Australia.
Thank you so much for the
Just
$5 super chat.
Weeks prior, I see this. It was like,
if they do a movie on this trial or on Johnny Depp's life, who will play, Miss Amber Heard? Comment in the comment section.
unbelievably painful. Unbelievably painful.
So what did you do?
I'm yelling at him. So just yelling. I was calling him all these ugly names. I was screaming at him. Told him to get the fuck out of the house.
Oh, that's
what
bad.
I said. Excuse my language, but
Sandra Bullock.
We were screaming at each other.
Randy Rainbow. I'm done. Miss
At
Piggy.
some point, we were upstairs in penthouse 3, and we kind of get into
Emma Watson. That's not a bad one. Hillary.
How do you describe it?
Oh God, where are the emails?
Pushing each other,
Oh,
and I just remember
Candace
being so
Owens.
mad at
Scarlett
him.
Johansson's a good one.
For
I'll give you ScarJo. I'll give you ScarJo.
Cheating on me and doing so in this way, like right after the wedding, and then right after my wedding, go to see him, and then Australia happens, and it just felt like everything came crashing down, and I was so hurt.
Hilarious.
Anyway, I break out of his grasp at some point, and I go into my sister's room. The apartments in the ECB are connecting. Right, at least 3 of them are, and they connect from upstairs only. So you could get from Johnny and I's apartment into the neighboring apartment where Whitney, my sister, was staying at the time. And then you could go from that apartment into penthouse 5. Again, still on the top floor. So I went through Johnny's office, which is how you access the door that gets you into Whitney, the neighboring apartment where Whitney was, my sister.
Holmes.
And I went in there and woke her up crying, screaming.
Wait a second.
Saying, what am I going to do?
Objection, Your Honor,
he said bad actress. Wait a second. Never mind. Elizabeth Holmes would be going.
I'll sustain you then. Okay, so you went to Whitney's. Don't tell the jury what you said to her. What happened next?
Jada Pinkett. Oh my God.
Johnny comes into
evil
penthouse 4 and
Charlize Theron
grabs me. I don't know why. I don't know what he was doing. But at one moment I I'm aware that my sister's somewhere nearby, and I thought about that. I just remember thinking about that, and he I remember getting kind of free from Johnny, and he left, or he walked out of the room.
When you say free from Johnny, what, if any, connection? Did you have the physical connection before that?
Well, I mean, I'm, trying to stand up for myself, and Johnny would, at that stage in our relationship, he would just throw me, shove me, hit me in the face. I mean, it was just like, all I could do is just try to fight back, or try to not get more hurt than not doing anything would have certainly left me. I don't really recall specifics. I remember at one point he had his uncasted hand in my hair, and I was looking at the carpet. I don't know what happened immediately after that, but I remember he left. He was out of the room for a while. I don't know how we got into, I think I heard him in P5. Again, this is the neighboring apartment of that. So there's P4 in between, and P5 is the corner. And that apartment was empty, basically. And so I used it, the top bedrooms, the bedrooms on the top floor as my closet, and I had all these clothing racks and shoe racks and stuff like that in there. And then it had another level, the mezzanine, which is it hung over the rest of the bottom floor. And I use that as my office. And the bottom floor is, of course, the living room with just some sparsely decorated, just some big couches and a low table. And I I hear him in Penthouse 5. And on the lower level also is another painting studio, like painting area of mine. So I go in there because I hear him, and he's screaming, but I don't know why. I don't know who he's. My understanding was he was screaming at me, but I wasn't in that apartment. I could hear him, and when I heard him, I came into Penthouse 5, and I have to go down the stairs, and I went down the stairs to the mezzanine level where my office was, and I could see him and a security guard and Debbie, the nurse, and he was sitting on the sofa when I first walked into the room, and he kind of stood up, was drinking Red Bull and screaming at me, and Debbie came up the stairs because I'm screaming back at him. She came up the stairs, I think. And while she came up, I'm supposed to kind of comfort me. And while I was up on the mezzanine floor, Whitney came down, and he threw the Red Bull can up at me, certainly, but it kind of either hit or narrowly missed Debbie. And I said I called him a pussy, and said something about, I'm screaming at him angrily. I at least called him a fucking pussy. I don't know what else I said, but I was screaming at him because he threw this can at me and everything else that had happened. And when I did that, he bolted up the stairs. And, there's only, he was up the first flight of stairs. Again, I'm on the mezzanine, which is in between two flights of stairs. He bolted up the steps. And I don't know how he managed to get his hands in my hair so fast, but he had his hand on the back of my head, my hair, and kind of was yanking me down, and hit me in the face with this cast he had. I just remember this brief struggle we had before kind of break away. Whitney, my sister, all of a sudden put herself in between Johnny and I. She just threw herself like in the line of fire or whatever. She just all of a sudden was there and was trying to get Johnny to stop. Her back was to the staircase, and Johnny swings at her, and I just see my little sister with her back her back to the staircase, and Johnny swings at her, and I don't even wait for any other, I don't hesitate, I don't wait, I just in my head instantly think of Kate Moss and the stairs, and I swung at him. In all of my relationship to date with Johnny, I hadn't landed a blow. And I, for the first time, hit him. Like, actually hit him.
Oh, she's taking
Square in
some.
the face.
Interesting.
He didn't push my sister down the stairs. And all my time of being in that relationship to that point, hadn't even landed one on Johnny.
Wow. So in other words, there were
Tried to
other
fight
attempts.
back, threw my arms, flailed
There
my
it is.
arms, hit whenever I could to try to block blows myself, but never landed anything. And Johnny kind of looked stunned and then laughed at me and then lunged at me again. And before I know it, security stepped in between us and pulled Johnny away. And I went upstairs with my sister, and
Is her sister
we
coming?
locked the
the
door,
stand?
and I could just hear all this commotion happening in Penthouse 5. I could hear him raging, destroying my things. I could hear it. And at some point I saw it the next day.
Tell the jury what you saw the next day.
Yeah. What is it?
All my clothing racks were toppled over, shoe racks toppled over, thrown down the stairs. Desk, everything on my desk wiped off. Just it looked like everything that he could touch, he
mucked
tried
up.
to
He
turn
mucked it
over,
up.
destroy, smash,
So is
but my clothing racks, these huge, heavy clothing racks full of clothes, there was at least one of them he threw down the stairs. The rest were toppled over.
I wonder if her sister's going to be coming to the stand, because if she can attest to any of this
Amber,
stuff,
I'm going to
that'd be
fast
crucial.
forward to December 15, 2015.
and the bodyguard did say something completely different.
Were you and Mr. Depp together at that time?
Yes, we were.
Did you have a fight that night?
December 15th. Yes, we did, but I don't recall. I don't recall what started the argument. We had periods leading up to that were really beautiful and really good, and then periods that weren't.
Well, let's talk about the December 15, 2015. What do you recall of your fight that night with Mr. Depp?
I remember him chasing me in the kitchen. I remember throwing something in his direction to slow down his momentum. I remember him screaming. I remember him getting on top of me at some point, toppling me. Mostly at that moment downstairs, he was hitting me in my face. Again, this is another example of when I wish so much I could tell you an exact sequence.
I wish you would have documented any of this
can't.
stuff.
It's
Holy cow.
flashes.
He punched me in the face. He did this, this, and this.
So I'll tell you what
Where
I do remember.
is the footage?
I remember at some point trying to flee upstairs, and we had he got a hold of me and I got free, and I managed to get all the way up the stairs almost. I was on the last flight, and we'd had some interaction where I think I said something to him on the stairs. It might have been broken up, and I think I said something on the stairs, and I just remember how quickly he shot back up those stairs and grabbed me by the back of my head, and slammed his hand on my head. And I went down on the stairs, and he overtook me I remember
Exactly,
him
Gregory.
so well. I remember his boots and the sound they made. I remember him grabbing my
This is rehearsed for sure.
hair, my head, and kind of dragging me up the stairs the rest of the way. He dragged me into the room that those stairs open into. It's like a salon foyer area.
Foyer.
And we had this
It also means hallway.
argument
Hallway, by the
that
way.
kind of,
Mims.
you know, was a shoving match
Mims
that
all
I
day,
was
bruh.
losing.
Fresh cut.
By the second or third
Mims.
shove, he sent me toppling over this chaise lounge, like a little low-lying sofa seat. And I hit my head on the brick wall. There was an exposed brick wall. I remember I stood up, and I remember Johnny asking me if I wanted to go, and he did that thing where he's like challenging me. He said it in that way, challenging me to stand up and get back up. And when I did, he said, "Oh, you really want to go now, tough guy?" Shoved me back down. "Oh, you really want to go, huh? Oh, you're so tough." I stood back up again. This time he hits me in the face. I stand back up and look him right in the eyes. And it was just a really still moment. I'll never forget it. Really still. I stood up
Charlie
and he
Miller,
said, "You
thank
want
you
to
so
go
much.
again, tough guy?" And I just looked right at him, just looked right at his face. And he balled up his fists, leaned back, and headbutted me square in the nose. Just right as I stood in front of him.
In the nose.
I was a foot from him.
In the nose.
Slammed me right in the nose. Instantly. Searing pain.
Okay. Proof? Photos?
It's one of the few memories I have in this long relationship that I actually remember the physical pain in that moment,
And-
just searing.
Charlie, thank you so much for $5 super chat. But
And
her sister is on Johnny's
I
side
remember
too?
thinking,
Or her sister is on Johnny's
you
side
have your
too?
hands
For real?
free.
Whoa.
Like
if that's true.
I had time
wow.
to think. You have your hands free. You could have hit me with your hands. Why did you headbutt me?
Well, she should look straight at him.
I told him that night I was going to leave him. I went through his office to go into the other room where I kept all my stuff.
Photos. Proof of this stuff.
We had another struggle. He
God.
overtook me. I was trying to hit him off me. I was trying to get
Exactly.
him to get it. I was trying to get his body off of me, and he was just pummeling me. I don't know how else to describe what I was.
You don't need to. You just could have taken
I
photos,
went
sweetheart.
down to the floor.
And all this would have been figured out.
I remember being on top of me, and he's screaming and swinging at me while I was on the floor. He had me by the hair and dragged me the rest of the way from the office into the neighboring room, the neighboring apartment. I remember the door that connected these two these two
This is
rooms
sad.
had a metal grate, not a grate, but a metal bottom, metal floor that separated it. It's a big, heavy bank door. And I remember he was dragging me, and I removed my hands from my head and kind of tried to grab onto the metal door to prevent him from dragging me into the room. But I couldn't stop him. He dragged me all the way from that carpet. I was trying to get free of his grasp. I was trying to stop him from pulling me. I remember feeling the carpet and the metal. And he drags me up to the bed, throws me down onto the bed. It kind of wrestles me down onto the bed. And he kneels on my back with one leg. And I was trying to fight him off me because I was face down on the bed top. And he wrestled me down, kind of trying to hold me down with his knee on my back. And he's punching me with a closed fist, punching me repeatedly. And I don't remember even feeling the pain. I just remember the sound of Johnny's voice.
You don't
He
remember
got
feeling
next
the
to
pain
my
because
ear
this
and
never
he was
happened.
screaming over and over and over again. Each time it sounded louder and more desperate. I fucking hate you. I fucking hate you. I fucking hate you. Over and over. Fucking hate you. And then pounding the back of my head, pounding it with his fist. And I don't even remember feeling pain. I just could hear myself scream until I couldn't hear myself anymore. I could just hear him say that he was going to kill me. And that he sounded like an animal in pain when he was saying that he fucking hated me. He sounded like he was almost crying, or something in his voice was different. He sounded different, he sounded like he was in agony. It was high pitched and
I'm
loud. And I don't know how many times he just hit me over and over and over again. And I got really still. And it felt in my body like quiet. And I thought, this is how I die. He's going to kill me now. And I'm not. He's going to kill me and he won't even have realized it. I couldn't breathe. I remember trying to scream and I couldn't scream.
Like a T-neck.
I was suffocating in this pillow top with him holding me down, punching me over and over. And I don't have any memory after that until I woke up.
Ugh. Oh.
When you woke up, was there anyone there?
It's all three of you. Me, myself, and I. Dramatic pause. Looking down at the script
I
line.
remember hearing my best friend's voice. I felt like it came, felt like it was like on a speakerphone, like it came from
Yeah, we got another 35
everywhere.
minutes.
I just heard her voice in a weird way. It felt like it was coming from two directions. And I realized that I was sitting on the edge of the bed, on the carpet of the floor against the broken frame of the bed. And there was a low-lying bed with a really thick wooden frame.
No kidding, Ivan.
And it was broken from his boot trying to get a purchase on it while he was.
Objection, Your Honor, calls for speculation.
I could feel it. Overruled.
Thank you. Please continue.
I wonder what the judge is
I was
thinking
there
right now.
for it.
Is she believing any of this, or is she
and
feeling it?
While he was on top of me, I could feel that. I could feel him trying to get balance. I could feel him slipping. I could hear it.
Yes, not this
I don't know
Monday,
how
but
I
the
got off the
following
bed.
Monday.
I don't know what happened to me from the time I stopped hearing myself scream. I don't know what happened to me. It's a really weird feeling because next thing I remember is leaning against the broken part of the bed and on the carpet, and my friend saying, "Oh my God, oh my
Objection,
God."
Your Honor. Hearsay.
Sustained.
Follow me on Twitter, guys. The Pascal Show,
Right.
one word,
And
please.
Without
And then
feeling
I-
what Rocky said.
I eventually, she called the nurse Erin.
Nicole Span, yes, I am
She got
tired.
something out of the freezer for my face. She did a concussion check with Aaron
Hockey
on the
Mama,
phone.
how you doing? $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Yes, I mean, she's just letting it ride.
I thought I
judge.
probably had a concussion
She's just letting it ride.
and certainly thought I had a broken nose. There was blood everywhere.
And
blood all over
Roberta,
those
you're
pillows.
right. I hope I don't see the kids on the stand either.
My
But
head was
I don't think they will.
bleeding from the ripped out
I don't think
hair,
they'll be asked on.
chunks of hair on the floor all over the place, actually. It was just all over the apartment.
Tamara Whitehurst, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Hey,
He, after
in these last moments,
leaving me, had written on the countertops in
awful
Sharpies.
testimony. I would like to express my thanks to you, the Pascal Show, and the moderators for all you
Michelle,
are
I'm gonna
providing
ask you to bring up
to every
Defendant's
lady
Exhibit
lady
510.
here. Happy Mother's Day. Be blessed. Yes, happy Mother's Day to all y'all, for real. Happy Mother's Day. I mean, I'll be saying that tomorrow because I'm still doing a show tomorrow. But there
Do
just
you
won't be a
recognize
trial.
this photograph?
Yes,
But
I do.
thank you so much, sweetheart. And thank you so
And
much.
does it
Happy Mother's Day to
accurately
you if you are a
depict
mother.
The scene portrayed.
All right.
Yes, that's the next day, I think.
Your Honor, I'm going to move the admission of Defendant's Exhibit 510.
No objection.
All right, 510 in evidence. You can publish it, please.
Thank you. And could you describe to the jury what that is?
It was chunks of my hair that Johnny ripped out while dragging me and punching me.
Wait a second. What?
Thank you. Michelle, could you bring up
Doesn't
513?
that kind of
please?
look like
Defendant
she just
513.
took that out of a brush? Like you could literally, I mean, I don't have any hair, but I mean, I thought you could just literally do this and then hair and then pull it out, clump it up and just throw it up and look, hair. Why not the like maybe the redness
Does
on the
this
back of your
picture
head?
accurately depict
Photos of the redness
you
in the back of your head for
and-
being
and-
from it being
and the scene
ripped out of
portrayed?
your hair, out of your
This
scalp,
is a couple
something
days
like
later, but
that.
yeah.
Okay. I'm going to move the admission of
So,
Defendant's 513.
so if there's photos, let me see these
Objection.
photos
513 in evidence.
of actual physical,
And
like
could
on
you
her
tell the
body,
jury what this is and what it depicts?
not just a clump of. Okay.
This is my face with a busted lip, which it's difficult to see in this picture, but my two black eyes, one is worse than the other. Like I said, maybe a day or two later. And my broken nose.
All right. Thank you. Michelle, can you bring up?
She says
Defendant's
broken nose.
Exhibit
That's a broken nose?
514?
That's a broken nose, y'all?
Does this accurately portray the scene depicted?
Yes,
Kevin
that's my
Samuels,
face sometime after.
Your Honor, I'm going to move the admission.
That's
of
a broken
Defendant's
nose?
514.
I don't know
No
about
objection.
that.
514 in evidence. You can publish.
All right. If you could just briefly describe for the jury what this one is.
That's my face.
That's a broken nose.
Some time after, and
Yeah, how
Johnny
many
beat me up.
how many days after
Thank you. Michelle, if you could
This
bring up
incident-
Defendant's 515.
did she take that photo? She said broken nose.
Does this accurately portray the scene depicted?
Yes,
I don't
Going
know
to move
about
the
all that.
admission of Exhibit 516.
No objection.
515 or 516?
516. I'm sorry if I misspoke.
You said 515
Oh.
before.
It's 515. 515.
No objection to 515? Okay.
No, Your Honor.
515 in evidence. You can publish.
And what does this depict, Amber? Could you tell the jury?
this is my face.
Broken nose.
Sometime after.
All right. Let's look at Defendant's
I'm not
516,
feeling
please.
this. Okay, we're gonna pull something up. We're gonna pull something up for after
Does
this.
this
After this,
accurately
um,
portray the
it's
scene
not gonna be a
depicted?
pretty sight. I'm gonna tell you that, guys, right now. But I'm pulling it up nonetheless.
Amber?
Yes, it does.
I'd
This
like-
is maybe,
Wait, let me move it first. May I move
Sure.
the admission of defendants exhibit 516,
No objection.
516 in evidence.
published to the jury, please? Okay, Amber, go ahead and explain what it is.
I think this is maybe that night or the next night after Johnny left me on the bed.
Let's go to 517. Does this accurately portray the scene depicted?
Yes, it does.
Move to admit defendants 517, Your Honor.
No objection.
517 in evidence.
Amber, please describe for the jury what this portrays.
Wait, I'm sorry. Wait, what? Wait, I'm sorry. Hold up.
That's my face
Hold up.
after
Hold up.
this incident.
Why is the bleeding somewhere else now on
What
her
is-
lip?
What's portrayed on your lip?
Yeah, what is that?
Well, he busted my lip when he punched me. It's bleeding in this
So
picture.
are
It
these
kept
are these in chronological order or
reopening.
no?
You know, it's a mouth.
You know what I'm saying?
Lips
Is this
move.
in chronological order?
Go to 519.
Wait, what? Isn't that the same shirt? Wait, what? Yo, no. No. She had a bruise on the top of her lip, and then now her bottom lip
Does
is
this
bleeding.
accurately portray the
How
scene
did that happen
depicted?
in the same damn
Yes.
within the
What
same
is
photo
this?
session?
519.
No objection, Your Honor.
519 in evidence.
the jury what this
Oh
shows?
man.
This is my lip a few days later.
Let's go to defendants 520, please.
That kind of looks like a cold sore. I'm sorry. I'm gonna keep it real. That kind of looks like a couple days after
Does this accurately depict the scene
type of
portrayed?
thing. And it would heal
Yes.
up.
Move the admission
How
of
many days is that? How many days
defendants
after is that photo taken?
520.
No objection.
520 in evidence.
That looks like the
Can you please tell the jury what's depicted here?
That's my scalp with a chunk of it missing from when Johnny was dragging me by my hair.
Let's go to defendants 521, please.
I mean, they better be catching this, or at least asking questions about this footage. Whether it's real or not, they have to ask those questions. I mean, those don't work like in chronological order. And the hair that was being pulled out of her head, wouldn't the clump of hair, wouldn't it be much like longer hair? Wouldn't it be bigger? Look like a big chunk of hair like that allegedly got taken out of her head. Or she just parted her head. Somebody parted her head. Like that what? Man, I'm about to show y'all something.
Does this accurately portray the scene depicted?
Well, it's a few days later.
Okay. Move the admission of 522, please.
No objection.
522 in evidence.
And what shows there?
My face is healing.
Okay. Let's go to 523.
Different shirt. That's a different shirt. It looks because she's wearing a white shirt still, but yo.
Does this accurately portray the scene depicted?
Yes, I think this is day or so after, maybe longer. I can't tell, but yes, it does.
Move the admission of 523.
No objection.
523 in evidence.
And I'm just going to draw your attention, Amber, to an area up here. What, if any, bruising did you sustain in that area?
Objection
Move
leading.
that out of the way.
defend-
What?
I'll sustain the objection.
Okay.
These are the worst
It's
like
What,
photos
if any,
ever.
bruising did you sustain?
I'm
Same
sorry.
objection.
Man, F this.
Sustain the objection.
Did you, did,
I'm about to show
What
y'all some
injuries did
truth
you
right
have?
here.
I had bruising on
You're
my
telling me that-
temple, my chin, my neck, the back of my head. I had swelling and pieces of, my scalp kind of ripped, torn. They were gross, pussy. But this is of the bruising around my temple from one of the blows, several of the blows, I don't know.
let's go to 524. Does this accurately portray the scene shown?
Yes.
Okay. Move the admission of 524.
No objection.
524 in evidence.
And what does this show?
And I had a pretty, can I touch the screen?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, ma'am, you can.
Yes.
And I had a pretty gross bruise right there in my head, on my temple. It's difficult to see it in this light, but I remember it was pretty ugly.
Now let's go to defendants 509. Does this accurately portray the scene depicted?
Yes, it does.
Your Honor, I move the admission of defendants 509.
No objection.
All right, 509.
Will you please tell the jury what this is?
That's the bed that Johnny broke while on top of me.
All right, let's go to defendants 511, please. Does this accurately portray the scene depicted?
Yes.
Move the admission of defendants 511.
No objection.
All right, 511 in evidence.
What do you see in this picture, Amber?
Just more destruction from a part of the fight that happened in the bedroom. Not the bedroom that I was
I don't know, man.
just talking about. It was the main bedroom. There had been a part of the fight that happened in there too.
Let's go to defendants 512, please. Does this accurately portray the scene depicted?
Yes, that's downstairs in the main.
Wait, let me move the admission of it. Move the admission of defendants 512, please.
No objection.
512 in evidence.
Okay, now please tell the jury about it.
It's downstairs in the main apartment.
Okay. Let's go to defendants 525.
Yeah, there's some things that need to be confirmed here. These are all coming out like what?
And does this accurately depict the scene portrayed?
Yes.
Move the admission of 525, please.
No objection.
All right, 525 in evidence.
And please tell the jury what this is.
This is Johnny's graffitiing on our kitchen counter that he left on his way out, I suppose.
All right. And I think defendants 526 is already into evidence. Could you just bring that
Yes,
up?
526 is in evidence.
Some wild stuff.
All right. Now, Amber, after, as of December 15, 2015, what were your plans for Christmas that year?
Well, up to this point, the plan was to have our families join us. We would go with the kids and celebrate Christmas together, as a married couple. And we would all go to Johnny's Island, and he had invited my best friend at the time, Rocky, and her family, meaning her mom and her fiance, and my parents, and my sister. We were all going to go to this island I've told you about that Johnny has in the Bahamas and spend it together. And that was the plan leading up to this.
And what, if anything, changed as a result of this night of December 15, 2015?
After they saw my face, no one wanted to go to the island anymore with Johnny. They wanted me to leave him.
Did you have to appear, were you scheduled to appear on the James Corden show on December 16?
That's right. I was promoting The Danish Girl, the film I had done earlier in the year in London before going to see Johnny in Australia. So I was promoting that film that had been completed, and they asked me to make an appearance on a night show called The James Corden Show. After this happened,
The Late Late Show with James Corden, but
I
okay.
did the first concussion check with Aaron on the phone. I got worried that I wouldn't be able to hide the bruising and swelling. But I iced it all night, and the next day checked in the mirror to see if I could get away with it, meaning hiding it, so I could make an appearance. And I gambled and thought maybe I could pull it off. I had my hair and makeup team come, and they worked around it, meaning worked around the lesions on my head with the hairspray, because that stings, and worked around the bruising by covering it with heavier makeup than normal bruise covering makeup. And I remember my lip was still bleeding and swollen, so we did this like really thick, super heavy matte red lipstick. I remember very well at the time that we had no choice in color, and that was one of my favorite colors to wear. And in this occasion, we had no choice because nothing else would hide my busted lip. And I went on the show, did what I always do. I told people I had an accident.
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
Sustain the
It's not
objection.
offered to prove the truth of the matter,
Sustain.
because you didn't have an accident.
Your Honor.
All right.
Sandy, I
I'll
don't
stay
know
in the
what to
Okay.
say.
Please continue. So did you appear on the show?
I appeared on the show.
Okay.
Yeah, she did.
And
And
did
she
there
looked
come a time
just fine.
that you changed your mind and went to the Bahamas with Mr. Depp for Christmas?
Eventually
2015.
I did.
Okay. And you went there with whom?
I went with Johnny's kids. I was, obviously I didn't see Johnny after this because he didn't face the damage he caused in my experience. He was never around for the cleanups. And so he wasn't around for a few days. And I eventually heard from him, and he said he wanted to talk. And then he understood that it couldn't go back, like almost as if he understood that I wouldn't forgive him. Made it easier somehow to talk to him. I didn't feel so bad about myself in that case because, how could I put up with this, right? But with the understanding that we were done, I could, allow for us to have one last conversation, I suppose. But I just, it's like, I was heartbroken by the idea that I would spend my first Christmas as a married couple with his kids and everything on the island. I was heartbroken at the idea of missing that. And hit every instance of violence, every time I was choked, every single one of these instances was like a heavy coin put into a piggy bank. And you think, okay, well, each single one of these is like,
Objection, Your Honor, non-responsive.
I think it's responsive, yeah.
The question
What
was,
she's
with
doing,
whom did you
why?
go?
If we could ask the question.
Tell us how you felt and what you were thinking in this process of whether to go
Okay.
to have Christmas with Mr. Depp and his children.
I'm just showing you guys some photos
No,
from
I guess I was
the
trying to
James Corden
explain.
show, as she says.
Go ahead, go ahead.
This is after Australia.
that, you think each one of these is, it's almost like for each one of these things that happens, you lose the will or resolve to leave. It's like every single heavy coin you put in this piggy bank is like an investment into the future you're going to get to, and then before you know it, you're just carrying around this weighted ball. This piggy bank's too heavy. You can't leave, for every single time I went back or allowed him back after this sort of thing would happen, I lost a piece of myself, a piece of my self-confidence, my trust in myself to leave and move on. I lost fortifications, I lost myself. And it was somehow easier to stay.
How's it
I
easier to
didn't
stay?
want to stay in the violence or in this. I wanted to stay with Johnny, the good Johnny that I loved. So I put another one of those coins in the piggy bank of investment in hope and future, and I forgive him. It wasn't even that simple. I just decided to believe him that it would never happen again. Clean and sober once again. This time was the last time because it couldn't be worse than this, right? It couldn't be worse. And part of me thought maybe it just needed to get this bad to get, now we can't go back. There's no way this could happen again. So I went to the island after a few days of talking with Johnny, arguing with Johnny, talking with Johnny, negotiating that it's going to be clean and sober. I wasn't going to drink anymore. He wasn't going to use anymore. He'd never lay a hand on me again. He'd rather die than do that, is what he was saying. And I was scared. My friends were scared, but I decided to go. After a few days of having the plane and the kids waiting, not knowing what was going on, they were at Sweetser, the main house, kind of just waiting to go on this Christmas vacation. And eventually I got in the car with Johnny and we picked his kids up and left for the island.
So let's go to the island for the Christmas holidays. And what, if any, arguments did you have with Mr. Depp at the island over the Christmas holiday?
Towards the end of the trip, the trip itself was pretty nice, but towards the end, he started drinking again. Started with wine, and we were on the couch in the main house, a cabin. It's like a one-room kind of cabin, And we were sitting on the couch, and Johnny, what I perceived as nodding off. I don't still know what it was, but he was kind of passing out or nodding off or something like that. And I'm sensitive at this point to the clues that I can pick up on to know what pattern of behavior I'm dealing with, because they made a huge difference in my life. So if I knew what he was on and what he was doing, I could react accordingly. So I'm picking up clues. I'm sitting next to him, and he's nodding off. And every single time he kind of like nods off, he dumps this glass of wine on my lap. And I say every single time because it happened like 3 times. First time, whatever. Second time, I'm like, Johnny, are you all right? And I probably say it like a little weighted. And in my head, I'm just wondering what he's on. Does this mean he's on the Roxy's again? Is it nodding off? What's going on? What am I going to deal with? He just had promised that it was clean and sober. We had this horrible thing happen in December. I thought we were moving forward. And the third time this happens, I jump up. I already changed my pants twice. And I jumped up and I shout at Johnny, like, what are you doing? Or, Johnny, you spill on me again, something to that effect. And I get up, get up off the couch, and Johnny's son says,
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
They are not offered to prove the truth of the matter. It explains what's coming.
Give you a good approach. I just don't know.
All right. I got a couple things I want to show you guys really quick while they approach. I just want you guys to see some of these things. Now, I just showed it a second ago, but I'm going to show them again. This is just some James Corden photos from his show, from the Late Late Show with James Corden. These are just the photos that are going on, as you can see here. Now, something I found interesting. Here's her photo here of one of the infamous photos. But there's another photo here that is completely different. Now, I'm wondering, is it this the same time? How is this and this is this? Like I said, it's not mathing for me. I got another photo, but it's interesting because the bruises seem to travel. They travel down her face. They keep changing, these quote unquote bruises that she has.
Amber, please continue.
And when we get done, I'm about to show you something.
Sad.
Trust.
says, are you okay, or can
And
I
it's
help?
not pretty. It's not pretty at all, guys.
Something to that effect. And I pointedly say to Jack, but really to Johnny, like, thank you, Jack. And to make a point of the fact that he hadn't offered to help me or even acknowledge that he'd been spilling wine. First, he's drinking wine. Second, he's spilling it all over me. And third, he's spilling it because he's nodding off, is what I assume. So I kind of say this in a pointed way at Jack, thanking him for offering. And I get up, go to the closet, take off the pants that have just been ruined. And Johnny comes into the closet right after me and slams me up against the side of the closet. And I mean, just with clarity, with holding my neck, he said he'd fucking kill me if I ever spoke to him like that in front of his kids again. If I ever embarrass him, and he just shoved me in embarrassed. If I ever embarrass you, if you ever embarrass me again in front of my kids, I'll fucking kill you. And I don't know, I don't recall who told Jack to leave, or I don't really recall having an awareness of where he was at this point, but I leave the closet, go into the bathroom, which is right next to it. And he comes barreling into the bathroom behind me.
So you're going to be done here soon.
Before he does that, I
got like
said
4 more
something
minutes.
snarky to him. Don't fucking ever talk to me like that again, or I hate you, or something in response, just something, so that I felt like I wasn't just being a punching bag. And I kind of like get over to the bathroom, but I didn't even have the door shut before he was in the bathroom with me. And I don't know if he used my body to shut the door or if he just shut it. But again, bangs me up against the wall. But this time he just grabbed my vagina, like,
Come on now, you got 3 minutes. Let's go. Say what you need to say, sweetheart.
I was wearing this
This is just
peach, kind of like netted kind of style swimming suit underneath. That's what I had on from the waist down, and he just grabbed me. Best I can explain it with his shoved his fingers inside me, but through my bathing suit. He didn't like move my bathing suit out of the way, and just kind of held me there and asked me if I was so fucking tough. I thought I was so fucking tough. Said, "Oh, you tough like a man now? You some man now?" He's kind of taunting me while jerking me around. And he kind of seemed to do this thing where he was smiling, just like teasing me. You know,
Thank you, Candace.
Oh yeah, you think you're so fucking tough. Now what? Now what? I don't know what happened after that. I went back into the room, or he went into the room. I don't know who went into the main room first. I just remember his hand landing on the back of my shoulder neck area. I remember trying to get him off of me. I don't know. I don't know what the next thing that happened was, but I do remember I knew I needed to get away from him. At some point, I ran. I ran out of the back door, ran out onto the patio. At some point before I ran, he swung at me, but I don't even remember how much of an impact it made. But I remember running. I threw something in his direction when I was getting away from him. I ran down the deck, ran out into the kind of like parking lot area, this gravel parking lot area outside of the house. And that's my estimation of when Johnny reached me, grabbed me by the hair, swung me around. I remember he hit my face at least once, but I'm not quite sure in what sequence. Was it before I broke away or after? I don't remember. I just remember the lights of the ATV coming up. The island, two of the people who worked on the island for Johnny, CJ and Tara, they pulled up in the ATV. I remember the headlights. I remember separating from him, or them kind of running up and saying something and separating us. And I didn't see Johnny for the rest of the evening, is my recollection. I just found him the next day, passed out in the cafe that was close to the house.
Is that the end of?
Yeah, this is a good breaking point, yes.
All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you can just stay there for a moment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be breaking. Again, this is the time that we break for a week. Okay, so I won't be seeing you until May 16th. But I wanted to talk to you a little bit about how the remainder of the case will progress. Okay. All right. So we promised to get the case to you by Memorial Day. So in order to keep that promise, there's going to be a few things I need from you. Okay. One thing is, starting on May 16th, we're going to start having court at 9 a.m. So we'll be going 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Some days we might have to go to 5:30. So I want to let you know ahead of time so you can plan accordingly. Okay. The other thing I need from you is Friday, May 27th. which is the Friday before Memorial Day, is going to be a court day. On that day, we're going to go ahead and have closing arguments, and the case is going to be turned over to you for deliberations on that day, okay? So I wanted to let you know ahead of time so you can plan accordingly so we can get this taken care of for you, okay? All right, so those are the announcements I want to make for you and make sure you had time to schedule what you needed to do. Now, I also want to go over, as we always do on Thursdays, our responsibilities, the responsibilities you have as jurors, okay, in this case. All right, so you're not to read anything about this case. You're not to watch anything about this case.
Good luck.
You're not to listen to anything about this case.
Good luck.
This applies to television, newspapers, magazines, the internet, and any online sites. Further,
Good
you're
luck.
not to read, watch, or listen to anything about this case on any social networking sites such as Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, etc., or any similar sites.
What about YouTube?
In addition, you
No, I'm
must
just
not
kidding.
communicate with anyone about the case, whether in person, over the phone, by email, text, or instant messaging, or by any other electronic or non-electronic means. This includes friends, family, coworkers, acquaintances, and strangers. I also instruct you that you cannot do any research or make any inquiries about this case, whether online or by any other means. What you learn about this case is limited to what you learn in the four walls of this courtroom when proceedings are underway, okay? So please enjoy your week off, get plenty of fresh air and rest, all right? And then I'll see you at 9 a.m. on Monday, May 16th, okay? All right, thank you.
Tracy Boone, yes, I did. I'm going to be talking about that most likely tonight, for sure. I'll be talking about that on my late show tonight for sure, and we'll be pulling it up and talking about it without a shadow of a doubt. Okay, guys. So,
And again, ma'am, since you're still in the middle of your testimony, you can't discuss your testimony.
we already know this stuff. Don't talk about anybody. This on such. She's gonna have a very lonely week. I'm gonna tell you that. She got a very lonely week ahead of her. Real bloody talk. So there you have it, y'all. First day, or the last day of the trial for a week, or sorry, for 10 days. They reconvene. They actually reconvene on Monday, the 16th of May. So it's basically 10 days ish of time to like get our minds off of it, think about other things, relax, recuperate, because this has been a lot. Even just for the 4 days that I've been doing this since Monday, it's a lot. It's a lot. Okay. Now I'm very interested to hear your thoughts on what was bestowed upon us today. This was absolutely a fascinating thing. That was a fascinating testimony. I'm going to keep it straight funky with y'all. I didn't expect any of that to go down the way it did. I mean, yes and no. Let me just say that. Yes and no. But still something shocking to me was the conversation or the stories that she had behind every act of violence that she had with Johnny Depp. Hers were completely different, and hers had nothing to do with her inflicting any pain on him, except there was only a few times when she talked about it, saying that she was defending herself, or trying to stand up to Johnny Depp because he's putting his hands on her, so on and so forth. So when we see those stories and we're like, wow, we've been hearing this other thing is pretty wild. Then on top of that, you can't forget the photos of the bruising, the photos of the aftermath. And there was a bunch that they showed where I was like, wait a second, why was it one photo looked like the bruise, the cut was up here where she busted her lip, then her lip was bleeding down here instead. I was like, wait a second, that's so off. It's so deceiving. Why are you trying to throw people off? That's a big waste of time. No, I didn't see that part. It cut out quick. Did you see the part where he was too scared? She was too scared to cross. Hold up. Let me see. Let me see here. I'm trying to see if I see it on this feed. It's not on this one. I was going to show it to you guys, but I don't see it. And of course, it's really hard to scrub something that's been going on for 7 hours. Yeah, this one doesn't show that. Let me see if I can find another one real quick. Maybe this one.
All right. And
Let's see.
again, ma'am, since you're still in the middle of your testimony, you can't discuss your testimony with anybody to include your attorneys, okay?
Oh.
You can step down, though, and have a seat.
Hold on.
With your attorneys, I have a few housekeeping matters I want to take care of before we finish.
I want to see this for myself. Oh, I mean, it just looks like she's just walking over and doing her thing. But you know, but I think that's this common, like what they do to make sure that the any person, you know, the plaintiff or the defendant doesn't try to lunge across the table and try to attack the person that's on trial. So I think that's just what they're doing. Real talk. It's another video. Oh, okay. I don't see it. I don't know where it is, unfortunately, but maybe you guys can send it to me in messages or you can email it to me as well. Because I'd love to see that. Because this is what I see right now for right now. But yes, so back to where I was talking about. The things I found very weird is this. You see this photo here. Then you see there's this other photo that I was trying to, but I can't, you know, change it right now. So you got this photo here, right? Remember where this particular scar that's like that bruise that's right under her eyelid, like right under her eyelid, right? That darkness. Okay. Just remember that. I need to show you guys another one here real quick, which I find, again, very, very strange. And it's this one right here. This cut or this bruise is now over here instead of up here where it was before. Then there's this other photo, which doesn't make any sense to me at all. But there it is, lo and behold. There's another photo of another bruise. But this is the bruise that we see here. And then there's this bruise. Then on top of that, she takes these photos, and literally like within a few days or a day or two later, she's on the James Corden, the Late Late Show with James Corden, alleging that she has a broken nose. Again, let me show you this photo. To me, I don't know. She says is a broken nose, 2 black eyes, and a busted lip. Now, this is obviously a different photo. The contrast is different from the other photos that they showed live. So here's the other photo. Hold on, let me get this out of the way too. Busted lip, allegedly the scar under the bruise under her eye, and she says 2 black eyes. And then look at her face here. Does this look like somebody who has a face that's been rocked a few days before? I hate to say that, but it just seems a little bit strange to me. Just saying, guys. Just saying. I have to challenge it because everything else that she has put out here has shown no proof of anything. A lot of these things are, it's like, okay, you show a video of him doing this, that, and the third, or you show him passed out on the ground. All the other times that he has throttled you, thrown you to the ground, beat you, broke or badly bruised your nose, as you said it in earlier today. If that actually happened, then where's the footage of that? Where's the footage of that? Then, I'm sorry, I have to show you guys this. So viewer discretion is advised, okay? But this, to me, is a photo of someone who has been brutalized. And I'm going to be real, this is not a very comfortable photo to look at, and it is a throwback. I'll tell you that. It is most definitely a throwback. But if you guys remember Rihanna, you'll remember this photo. So I'm going to show it quickly, but here it is. Now that is somebody who got rocked. That is somebody that was attacked, full on attacked. This is hard for me to look at these other photos and actually say, yeah, she was just rocked. I'm sorry. It's hard to believe. And I'm not sitting here saying that those bruises that Rihanna received are the same for everyone. But if you're in a really bad fight, glass is flying everywhere. You're being choked in the neck. You're getting throttled. You're getting thrown up against a wall multiple times. Your hair, a chunk of your hair is getting ripped out. I feel like you'd be more than just this. I feel like you wouldn't be able to even show up to a show and be able to do your press junket with a smile on your face. Just saying. Only because of the stuff that's been presented to us so far. And her story doesn't seem to be adding up, nor has she really taken any accountability for anything. There was only one moment that she said, I slapped him, because he was attacking me. So it was, okay. So you're saying I will take accountability for this because I was provoked. I was put in harm's way and I had to protect myself. Okay, fine. But where's the footage? Where's the evidence of you actually receiving said bruises and cuts on your body? Not aftermath of looks like a crazy ass party that just happened to go crazy because it's a bunch of rich people getting high, doing lines and drinking colors. Something just ain't right. And then the hair video photo, exactly, Simone. Something doesn't seem right. It's just like you could have just taken that out of a brush or a comb. It could have been anything. Could have taken that out of a drain and just let it dry overnight. There you go, hair. And that little rouge, that little redness around her hair. I mean, she could have scratched her head real quick over there in that area. You know what I'm saying? That could have been anything. So how can we actually believe that these photos are actually 100%? It's funny because this is not at all what I'm trying to do, but I know Roberta likes to try to poke a sleeping bear with me. So I'm going to talk about this real quick. I fear you're coming across as an insensitive misogynist. Wow. Most folks here may agree with you. However, this case is very triggering to female and men who are victims. They will probably not comment or leave. Here it is. In no way, shape, or form am I trying to come across or try to be any way, shape, or form an insensitive misogynist. One, I am not a misogynist. And if you watched my show, you would know. Two, if you paid attention. Two, most folks may agree with me. Yes, because the facts here do not add up. We are looking at the facts. We're looking at a trial where they are presenting two sides to this story. Right now, one side is coming in with a lot of evidence and a lot of proof. The main star witness, Johnny Depp, came up and spoke very well, very slow, but very well, literally explaining his side of the story. And his side of the story so far has been adding up, including all of the witnesses that he has brought on, his bodyguards, the registered nurse, so on and so forth, the cops that have come in, all of them have come in basically saying without a shadow of a doubt, he has not done anything. There is no said abuse in this relationship. So no way, shape, or form am I coming off misogynist. If I was being misogynist, then I'd be saying certain things that would sound misogynist. But if I'm looking at the evidence and I'm looking at the facts and I'm looking at a situation of a woman that is saying something that may not be backing up, where her evidence is not backing up what she's saying, I'm sorry, I gotta say it. I'm gonna say what I gotta say. If the facts do not meet with the stories, then there's something wrong. Period. If the shoe was on the other foot, I'd be saying the same thing about Johnny right now. Every single time that she's had an opportunity to show something, to prove without a shadow of a doubt that this man put his hands on her, she never documented it. She never backed it up. She just filmed video of him slamming cabinets, filmed audio of him moaning drunk as hell in an airplane. Every single person that has ever come in as a witness for Johnny Depp that were in rooms where bad things happened have been telling us different. Now, here's the thing, though. I'm still waiting to see what happens next week after they get done going through her testimony, so that when the team Depp gets to cross-examine her and all that, which they will, and they will make a meal out of her. Watch. Okay. But when they do get done and they rest on her and they move on to the other witnesses, I can't wait to see what witnesses she has come up. Is it her sister? Is it her family? Is it anybody else that were in the rooms when went down? Then absolutely. Then I will sit there and I go, okay, I want to hear these because I want to hear the facts. But if you're going to try to countersue somebody for $100 million when you first off said, you sat into this on the stand yesterday and they said, why are you here? Her own lawyer said, why are you here? And she said, because of an op-ed I wrote. That's literally what she said right off the bat. And here's the other thing. Something like this is terrible. This sucks because I would rather believe her. I'd rather her have all the facts, have everything ready to go and take him down easily. But right now, we're not seeing any of that stuff. Zero of it. Her entire team is fumbling the ball. So whether it's true or not, She has nothing to back it up with. So far, the narrative and the pendulum is swinging a completely different way. And I'm not speaking for all victims. I don't understand. What? I'm not speaking for all victims. What the hell is that? What kind of comment is that? I'm not speaking for any victims. I'm speaking my perspective. That's it. I think this sucks for people who are survivors. Absolutely. That want to step up and say what they want to say. Absolutely. This is not good. Because every single person that wants to step out, wants to find themselves free, wants to get somebody who is abusing them in court, throw them in jail, whatever. Now, people are going to be questioning those victims and those survivors, and that's what sucks. That's it. That's it. Let me get this. Yvette Tapp. I'm not leaving. I'll comment. Victims do not put on such bad acts in court. Thank you. Male or female. We are gauging human beings, not genders. Thank you again. Those photos she put out, many came to many days after supposed incidents. As fresh, red, timed for when Paps were known to be present. I would love to see plaintiff attorneys get those sealed records from Austin open now, that their own attorney and Amber Heard herself testifies about why she left high school. No mention of death of her friend at age 16. What else? That's all I got. That's all I got on this. But see what I'm saying? I'm talking about there's victims on both sides of the fence. I'm not sitting here being misogynist at all. Like that's insulting. That's insulting to me, of all people. Of all people, I'm the misogynist. Wow. That's a new one, Roberta. Okay. But hey, we can agree to disagree on this one. Like I said, we're going to wait and see what happens here. We don't know who she's going to be bringing in. There might be more information here, more footage, more stuff that we've never seen before, more key witnesses that might annihilate Johnny Depp. We don't know. But at the same time, this testimony was trash. No way. There's no way you can look at this any other way. The way she looked at this is absolute trash. The way she presented, the way she talked about things seemed like she was full on lying. Not all of them. But when she went into the fights, you can tell she's fabricating things. She's adding descriptions that don't need to be there because she's trying to find more time to come up with the next part of the lie. That's ridiculous. If this was Johnny Depp, I'd be calling him out too. I'm not on the side of the dude. I'm on the side of who is right and who is wrong. That is it. On the side of who is right and who is wrong. And right now, Amber Heard is looking wrong as hell right now. And that sucks. T-Nack, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Did you know she was arrested for DV by her ex? Yes, I did know. And also she was arrested. This is the other thing that Yvette was saying. She was also arrested at 16 for driving under the influence as well. She was 16 years old out here driving under the influence. Apparently all they know is either she was driving a car or she was driving a boat, but she was under the influence of alcohol and drugs. But when she first started off, she said, I was the model student. I was a good kid. I did all this stuff. I donated my time. I did a lot of community work. Oh, by the way, I learned how to do sign language because I was working with kids who are hearing impaired. I'm a model. I was the model child. Not once did she mention, oh, I grew up in a family of addicts. They were dealing with so on and so forth. Not once did she say that she was a kid, just living a life on the edge a little bit. But she got arrested for a DUI at 16 years old, y'all. 16. She started off lying in the very beginning. They tried to make it seem like she was a model citizen. This poor little, she's not like a rich girl, but like she, you know what I mean? This poor girl that was, matriculated at this well-to-do high school, so on and so forth. This is how she started her thing yesterday. And then all of it was lies. Except for maybe the part where she's sitting there going, except maybe the part when she was sitting there saying that we want Johnny Johnny just wants to go to rehab, or I just wanted Johnny to get sober. Sure, that is truth. That's what I think. I honestly think that she was saying that as the truth. I think that part is the absolute truth. I think when she was sitting there going, hey, I'm trying to get Johnny to go to rehab. I'm trying to get him to feel better, so on and so forth. Absolutely. That is absolute. I think that is the truth. Because you see those photos of him nodding off and all that stuff. He's a wreck. Of course she wants him to get better. That part is the truth. But all the other stuff where I feel like she's just taking opportunities, it seems like so far, that she's taking opportunities that whenever he is, quote unquote, blacked out, she goes, oh, you went nuts and you did all these things to me and all that stuff. You pulled out a bottle and assaulted me with a bottle. But he doesn't remember that because he's blackout drunk or high as hell on whatever the hell he's on. Just saying. Just saying. So, with that being said, I'm watching this with fresh eyes, just like everybody else. I'm trying to get down to the bottom of this, and I want to find the truth. I want the truth. And here it is. Right now, I'm sitting here going, I think she's lying like a mug. I think she's straight cap right now. And if you think I'm being something that I'm not, hey, that's on you. But here it is. If somebody comes in, if there's some character witness that's going to swing this to in another direction, trust me, I will sit here and go, okay, yeah, all right. That's some good evidence right there. Now I'm going to be like, what is Team Depp going to do about that? Are they going to expose that ass or not? But right now, Team Heard's whole movement has been whack. They came out with Dr. Hughes, and that was weak. Now they brought out Amber Heard, and that's all lies. So what are they trying to paint? What is the narrative that they're trying to paint? They ain't even done. They're not even done questioning her yet. Team Depp hasn't even had an opportunity to cross-examine. So this is going to be wild, y'all. Absolutely bloody wild. And whatever happens on either side of the fence, we going to be here. We going to watch what's going down. But what's crazy to me is that she's saying that she didn't do anything to Johnny Depp. She said at one point, I started cracking up. She literally said that he was on the phone telling her that he put the cigarette out on his own face. Even Johnny Depp, I feel, as drunk as he's ever been, I don't think he would ever sit there and say, oh, let me just put a cigarette out on his face. Real talk. Not never. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. She literally was trying to cover for herself the entire time. And then guess what? She got 10 more days to figure out what more lies she can fabricate. And she's going to be back up on back up on there again, saying some more trash. Sorry, but so far, I'm not believing anything that she said so far. She started with a lie and she ended with a lie. Hopefully she comes to terms with something, or she finds Jesus, Okay. Hopefully she finds Jesus. Hopefully she finds Jesus in the next 10 days. But right now, I'm not believing it. I'm just not. And if it was on Johnny's side, I still wouldn't believe him. Has nothing to do with sex to me. I don't care about that. I want the truth. I want the damn mother-loving truth. And I think you guys do too. Because you know for a fact if Johnny was found red-handed with all these moments that she says that he grabbed her and threw her against or smacked her in the face with his rings on, or he bruised or broke my nose the first time the first time she said that today. Where's the Carfax? Show me the footage. Show me the actual proof. The jury's actually saying that as well. They're going, well, we're hearing about these things, but we're not seeing these things. So what is actually real and what is actually not? I guess only time can tell. We got 10 more days, and then they're back up again, May 16th. She's back on the stand. I'm sure we're going to be doing some sort of recap. We're going to be chopping it up about it and all that. And just aside from any of that, any of the comments and all that stuff on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or Twitter, real talk. Hey, everyone's entitled to their own opinions. But I want everybody to listen to me before they start sending me messages just to try to rustle my feathers. I'm the least person to ever do something like that. And yes, Zozo Bob, I totally agree. I am definitely in need of a break from this trial, which I'm really looking forward to. But before we do that, most likely I will be on tonight to talk about this whole thing, this whole trial, all the new developments and what we heard here, so that we can actually react, talk about it, and put in our 2 cents. Go through some clips and talk about it. And hopefully I'll get Lady Justice back on with me, and we're going to talk about it, to a good extent. So tune in tonight, and it'll most likely be around 9:30, same time as last night. And we're going to chop it up. We can go through some things, real talk. And I would love to hear your thoughts on everything. Okay. But anyway, guys. Oops. But anyway, guys, I appreciate all y'all for being on. Every single last one of y'all. Real talk. You know what I mean? It's a blessing to have you guys on, to chop it up with me and have conversations and all that. I will be on tonight, later tonight, okay? Because I'm going to go and enjoy a little bit of Cinco de Mayo. But when I get back, we will be doing a conversation about all this stuff, because we got to talk about this. That was some hefty stuff, y'all. That was some hefty ass stuff. This hefty ass stuff, you know. Anyway, guys, and so hey, for those of y'all who are watching on Facebook, hey, I appreciate all y'all for tuning in and watching the show. Please hit that follow button on my Facebook page. All right, The Pascal Show. All right, if you're watching on YouTube, please hit that like button down below. Also, hit that subscribe button. Okay, shameless plug. All right, if you can, hit that join button down below. Support this channel, or you can join my Patreon, patreon.com/The Pascal Show. And I also got that Cash App, baby. Okay, so please, it's right there on the ticker. You know, help a little show that will. You see what I'm saying? So it would be greatly appreciated. Got to keep the lights on somehow, right? But anyway, guys, I appreciate all y'all. I will be on tonight. I will let you guys know on the community page. So keep an eye out for that. Okay, guys, have a great rest of your day, or the next couple hours. Let's just say that. And real quick, I got to kill that really quick because it is Cinco de Mayo. So, hey, happy Cinco de Mayo. You know what I mean? Hey. Yes, it's margarita time. I will see you guys very soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. I'll see you guys soon. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.